Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top 5 most valuable Sacagawea $1. So let's get started. First up, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with the Philadelphia Mint mark, a coin that was released at the very beginning of the Sacagawea dollar program and has since become an iconic piece in the world of United States currency. The year 2000 marked a new chapter in American currency history, replacing the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar and introducing a coin that was designed to be easy to identify, easy to use in daily transactions, and instantly recognizable with its golden hue and striking imagery. At first glance, most of these coins look just like the familiar golden dollars people have seen in pocket change, but every once in a while, collectors come across something that makes them stop and pay attention. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar struck at the Philadelphia Mint carries the letter P beneath the date on the obverse, indicating where it was produced. That year, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 767 million of these coins, making it one of the most common dollar coins from the modern era. Because of that immense production number, most of the coins that were released into circulation remained in circulation, and many that did not circulate survived in typical condition, showing signs of handling and wear over the years. Most of the standard 2000p Sacagawea dollars you might encounter today are worth exactly $1, the face value they carry, regardless of whether they've been kept in a pocket or stored in a drawer since they were first minted. This is because the sheer number of these coins in existence means they are not rare or particularly scarce in typical condition. Regardless of how they look or the way the light falls on them, a regular circulated 2000p Sacagawea dollar without any special attributes remains essentially worth its denomination in everyday commerce. But what happens when one of these coins adopts an unusual appearance? What if the surface of the coin doesn't show that familiar golden color, but instead takes on a darker or shaded tone that can appear almost black in certain lighting? These black color shade coins are often the result of toning or environmental effects that have altered the surface of the coin over the years. Toning can occur when a coin is exposed to various elements such as sulfur in the air, moisture, or even the oils from human skin. Over time, these factors interact with the metal and create a range of surface colors and patterns that can range from subtle straw and gold tones to deep blues, browns, and in some cases very dark blackish shades. Collectors refer to these toned coins as toned varieties, and while toning alone doesn't inherently make a coin rare in the technical sense, it can make a particular example visually unique and more desirable to certain collectors who appreciate the aesthetics. Toning is unpredictable. No two toned coins are exactly alike, and some collectors actively seek out strikingly toned pieces precisely because of their individuality. Even with this unusual black color shade, it's important to remember that the underlying coin is still the common 2000p Sacagawea dollar. The fact that it appears black or heavily toned does not change the coin's original mintage figures or how often this type of coin was produced. It does not automatically create rarity in the numismatic sense, because the coins with odd colors are still simply part of that same large production run. From a market perspective, most of these toned coins still trade within a moderate range. A typical toned 2000p Sacagawea dollar, without any certification or any recognized error designation, often brings mildly more interest than a plain coin, but is generally priced considerably above face value only if the toning is particularly eye-catching or well graded by collectors. Some online marketplace listings show examples described as beautiful coloring, but these are listings and asking prices rather than firm sales figures, and they reflect seller optimism more than actual realized value. In some cases, these toned coins may be listed for prices in the low hundreds, but whether they actually sell for those amounts depends on buyer interest, condition, and how appealing the toning appears. On the other hand, the story of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar does have genuine high-value outliers when we move beyond color and toning into the world of extraordinary errors and rare varieties. There are coins from this same mintage that command prices far beyond the ordinary, driven by scarcity and historical curiosity. The most famous of these include the so-called mule errors from the year 2000, where a Sacagawea dollar planchet was mistakenly struck with the obverse of a Washington quarter, creating a coin that should never have existed. Only a handful of these error pieces are known, and when authenticated and graded, they have sold for prices that can reach six figures at major auctions. There are also the early promotional coins from a serial tie-in that featured distinctive reverse designs, and specially presented pieces given to the coin designer that were struck with differing finishes. These varieties are rare because they exist in very limited numbers and are documented by grading services and numismatic registries. But these are the exceptions, the outliers that collectors dream of rather than the rule for the standard 2000p Sacagawea dollar. When you evaluate a 2000 Sacagawea dollar marked with P and showing a dark black shade condition, it's crucial to understand where it fits in the broader context of coin collecting. Most standard examples, even with unusual surface color, are still rooted in a massive minting and valued principally as collectible condition pieces. The coin still represents a significant part of the history of American currency as the first year of the Sacagawea dollar series, and that historical context adds intangible interest beyond its face value. As a result, a basic circulated 2000p Sacagawea dollar might trade at $1 or slightly above. An uncirculated example that has remained untouched since leaving the mint may bring a few dollars more in standard grades, and a uniquely toned black shade example might attract niche collector interest but typically remains modest in value compared to certified error coins or rare varieties. To sum it up for collectors and viewers who want to know how to value such a coin today in the current market in United States dollars, you must separate three very different categories. The everyday circulated coin with no special attributes stays at or around its face value. The visually distinct toned coins, including black shaded pieces, can command premiums if they appeal to the right buyer, but generally trade in moderate price ranges. The truly valuable coins from this year are the documented error or rare presentation pieces that have historical significance and genuine scarcity. Understanding this spectrum will help you appreciate where your 2000p Sacagawea dollar with a black color shade fits in the grand scheme of coin collecting, and how to approach determining its value with knowledge and confidence.
Next up, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with the D mint mark, and specifically in extra fine condition. And we will carefully explore what this coin is worth in today's market in United States dollars. The year 2000 marked the beginning of a brand new era for the golden dollar series in the United States. The government introduced the Sacagawea dollar to replace the earlier small dollar design that had struggled in circulation. This new coin featured a bold and warm golden color created by a manganese brass outer layer bonded to a copper core. Even though the coin looks like gold, it contains no precious metal, and its value comes entirely from collector demand and condition. The obverse of the coin shows Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who played a crucial role in guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition across the American frontier. She is shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. The portrait was designed by Glenna Goodacre, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable modern coin designs. The reverse of the 2000 issue features a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars representing the states in the Union at the time of the expedition. This reverse design was created by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., and it remained in use for several years before later changes to the series. The D mint mark located on the obverse side of the coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint. In the year 2000, the Denver facility produced more than 500 million Sacagawea dollars. This extremely high mintage number plays a major role in determining the value of the coin today. Because so many were struck and released into circulation, the coin is considered very common in circulated grades. Now, let us focus specifically on extra fine condition. In coin grading, extra fine, often abbreviated as XF, means the coin has seen circulation but still retains strong detail. Light wear will be visible on the highest points of the design. For the 2000D Sacagawea $1 coin, this means you may notice slight wear on Sacagawea's cheek and hair and minor smoothing on the eagle's breast feathers. However, the major design details remain sharp and clear. The rims should be complete and strong, and the lettering should be bold. In today's market, a 2000D Sacagawea $1 coin in extra fine condition typically sells between $1 and $3 depending on eye appeal and the specific buyer. This means that even though the coin is over 2 decades old, its value is usually only slightly above its face value. The large supply keeps prices modest and stable. However, value can vary slightly depending on demand at the time of sale. Coins that have attractive golden color with minimal marks often sell closer to $2 or $3. Coins with dull surfaces or heavy contact marks may trade closer to $1 to $1.50. Even within the extra fine range, small differences in appearance can influence price. It is also important to understand that most 2000D Sacagawea dollars found in circulation today are either in lower circulated grades or heavily marked uncirculated pieces. Extra fine examples that show balanced wear and decent eye appeal are often collected by those building affordable typesets or date and mint mark collections. Because the coin is common, it is usually bought and sold in bulk or as part of sets rather than as a rare single item. Now, let us talk briefly about what makes certain 2000 Sacagawea dollars worth much more. While the standard 2000D Sacagawea dollar in extra fine condition remains in the low single-digit dollar range, certain rare varieties and errors can command much higher prices. For example, some 2000 Sacagawea dollars are known for special pattern reverses or striking errors. Those rare variations can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. However, those are extremely uncommon and are not the typical Denver circulation strikes. When discussing today's coin market, it's important to understand that modern dollar coins have not experienced dramatic price increases over time. The market for common modern issues remains steady but not explosive. Inflation has not significantly raised the collectible premium for coins like the 2000D Sacagawea dollar in extra fine grade. Therefore, most sales remain within a narrow range between $1 to $3. Collectors who wish to maximize value should ensure the coin is properly stored to prevent discoloration or spotting. The golden alloy used in these coins can sometimes develop dark areas if exposed to moisture or improper storage. An extra fine coin with bright and even color will always be more desirable than one with stains or environmental damage. If you are selling this coin today, you can realistically expect offers close to $1 to $2 from dealers and possibly up to $3 in a private sale if the coin is attractive. If you are buying this coin, you should not pay more than $3 for a standard extra fine example unless it has exceptional eye appeal. The 2000D Sacagawea dollar remains an important historical piece because it represents the launch of the modern golden dollar program. It carries strong symbolism and beautiful artwork. Even though its monetary value in extra fine condition remains modest, it still holds educational and historical value for collectors and enthusiasts. To summarize clearly, in today's market, the most valuable standard 2000 Sacagawea $1 with the D mint mark in extra fine condition is generally worth between $1 and $3 United States currency, depending on appearance and demand. It is a common coin with a high mintage, but it remains a meaningful part of modern American coinage history and a solid addition to any beginner or intermediate collection. Next up, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with the P mint mark. They are referring to one of the most recognized modern United States dollar coins ever produced. This coin was first released in the year 2000, and it marked the beginning of a new golden-colored dollar series that was introduced to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who played a vital role in guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition across the American frontier. The reverse of the 2000 design shows a soaring eagle surrounded by stars, representing the states of the Union at that time. The P mint mark located near the date indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these Sacagawea dollars. The total mintage was extremely high, which means the coin is considered common in the world of modern United States coin collecting. Because of this large production number, most examples found in circulation today are worth only their face value. The golden color of the coin comes from its manganese brass outer layer, which gives it a unique appearance compared to traditional silver-colored coins. However, despite its attractive design and historical symbolism, the high mintage limits its rarity in normal condition. Now let us focus specifically on a 2000 Sacagawea dollar with a P mint mark in damaged condition. Damage on a coin can include scratches, dents, edge nicks, discoloration, corrosion stains, or cleaning marks. Once a coin has been damaged after leaving the mint, its collectible value usually decreases significantly. Collectors prefer coins that are in original condition even if they show natural wear from circulation. Damage is different from wear because it is considered harm to the surface rather than natural aging. In today's market, a standard 2000p Sacagawea dollar in damaged condition is generally worth $1. Since so many were produced, there is no scarcity to create additional demand. Coin dealers and collectors can easily obtain high-grade examples for a small premium, so there is little reason for anyone to pay extra for a damaged piece. Even in circulated but undamaged condition, these coins typically trade very close to face value. When damage is present, the value does not increase and often remains exactly $1. It is important to understand that value in coin collecting is based on rarity, condition, and demand. If a coin is common and damaged, it does not meet the criteria for higher pricing. Many people believe that because a coin is old or looks unusual, it must be valuable, but with modern coins like the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, age alone does not create significant worth. 25 years is not considered rare in numismatic terms, especially when hundreds of millions were made. There are certain special varieties from the year 2000 that are highly valuable, but these are very specific and rare exceptions. Early promotional pieces and rare mint errors from that year have sold for thousands of dollars when in excellent condition. However, those coins are extremely scarce and must show clear, identifiable differences from regular circulation strikes. A normal damaged 2000p Sacagawea dollar without a recognized mint error does not fall into that category. If your coin has heavy scratches, rim damage, or has been cleaned improperly, its value in today's market will remain at $1. Cleaning is especially harmful because it removes original surface texture and can leave visible hairline marks. Many collectors immediately reject cleaned coins. Even professional grading services will label such coins as damaged, which prevents them from receiving a standard numerical grade. Without a high grade or recognized error, there is no additional premium. Another factor to consider is market demand. Modern dollar coins have never circulated widely in daily commerce compared to quarters or pennies. Because of that, many uncirculated examples were saved in rolls and mint sets. This means that even high-quality coins are still widely available. When supply remains high and demand is moderate, prices stay low. A damaged example simply does not attract competitive buyers. If someone is trying to sell a damaged 2000p Sacagawea dollar today, they will most likely receive $1 from a dealer or can simply spend it as regular currency. There is no silver content in this coin, so there is no precious metal value above face value. Its worth comes strictly from its denomination unless it has a rare minting error. Therefore, realistic expectations are important. For collectors who are serious about searching for valuable Sacagawea dollars, the key is to look for unusual features, such as strong doubling, missing edge details, incorrect planchet strikes, or rare reverse design variations from early production runs. Those coins can command significant prices when verified, but again, those are rare and must be in collectible condition to achieve high market value. Damage lowers desirability even for many error coins. The 2000p Sacagawea $1 coin with the P mint mark remains an important piece of modern American coin history. It introduced a new chapter in circulating dollar coin design and honored a historical Native American figure who contributed to the exploration of the American West. While its story and symbolism are meaningful, its financial value in damaged condition is straightforward in today's market. It is worth $1. Understanding the difference between historical importance and market value helps collectors make informed decisions. Not every coin that looks interesting will bring high prices.
Condition plays a major role, and damage significantly reduces collectible appeal. For a 2000p Sacagawea $1 coin in damaged condition, the realistic and honest market value today is $1.
Next up, the Sacagawea $1 from the year 2000 with the D mint mark in fine condition, and we will carefully understand its true value in today's market in simple dollar terms. The Sacagawea dollar was first introduced in the year 2000 as a new golden-colored dollar coin designed to replace the earlier small-sized dollar coin that many people found confusing. The goal was to create a coin that was visually different from quarters and other silver-colored coins. This new dollar featured a smooth, golden appearance, even though it does not actually contain gold. It is made from a manganese brass outer layer bonded to a copper core, which gives it that bright golden color that stands out in circulation. On the front of the coin, you will see the portrait of Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman who played an important role in the Lewis and Clark expedition. She is shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. The design represents strength, guidance, and the early exploration of the American West. The portrait was created with soft, flowing lines and a strong, forward-looking expression which symbolizes hope and leadership. Below the year 2000 on the front side of the coin, you will find a small letter D. This D mint mark tells us the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. In the year 2000, the Denver facility produced more than 500 million of these Sacagawea dollars. That is an extremely high mintage number, which means the coin is very common. Because so many were produced, they are still widely available today in circulation rules and collections. Now let us talk about what fine condition actually means. A coin graded as fine has clearly been used in circulation. It shows moderate wear across the high points of the design. On a 2000D Sacagawea dollar in fine condition, you will notice that the hair details on Sacagawea will be somewhat worn down, and the baby's facial details may not be sharp. The eagle on the reverse side will show flattening on the breast feathers and wingtips. However, the design is still clear and readable, and the date and mint mark are easy to see. Fine condition is not considered a high grade in modern coin collecting, especially for coins that were produced in very large numbers. For modern dollar coins, collectors usually look for uncirculated pieces with no wear and strong original luster. Since a fine condition coin has visible wear, it does not attract strong premium demand among advanced collectors. When we look at the real market value of a regular 2000D Sacagawea dollar in fine condition, the price remains very close to its face value. In today's market, a typical example in fine circulated condition is worth approximately $1. In some cases, a buyer might pay slightly above $1 if they are filling a coin album and need that specific mint mark, but generally the value stays between $1 and $1.50, depending on local demand. It is important to understand that there are certain rare varieties connected to the year 2000 Sacagawea dollar that can be worth significantly more. For example, some coins were struck with unusual die varieties or presentation pieces that were never meant for regular circulation. Those rare examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. However, those are special cases and they are extremely uncommon compared to the regular 2000D circulation strikes. Your coin must be carefully checked for any unusual features, such as doubling, missing design elements, or incorrect edge details. But if it is simply a standard 2000D Sacagawea dollar in fine circulated condition without errors, then its value remains close to its original $1 face value. Collectors sometimes keep the 2000D Sacagawea dollar because it is the first year of issue, which gives it historical importance. First-year coins always attract some attention in the long term because they represent the beginning of a series. However, due to the massive production numbers, the coin has not developed significant rarity over time. Another factor that affects value is demand. The Sacagawea dollar has never circulated widely in everyday transactions compared to paper dollars. Many people saved them as souvenirs when they first appeared, which increased the surviving population even more. Because so many were saved, the supply in the collector market remains high, and that keeps prices stable and low.
If we compare this coin to older silver dollars or low mintage coins from the 19th century, the difference in value is dramatic. Those older coins often had lower production numbers, and many were melted or heavily worn down over time. In contrast, the 2000D Sacagawea dollar had a very high survival rate and contains no precious metal, which means its intrinsic metal value does not add any extra premium. So, in simple, clear terms, if you have a 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with a D mint mark in fine condition and it shows normal circulation wear with no special errors, then its market value today is about $1, and in some cases up to $1.50 depending on buyer interest. While it may not be a high-value coin in circulated condition, it still represents an important moment in modern United States coinage history. It marked the return of a golden-colored dollar coin and honored a significant historical figure whose legacy continues to be recognized through American currency. For collectors just starting out, the 2000D Sacagawea dollar is an affordable and accessible piece to include in a collection. It allows new hobbyists to learn about mint marks, grading, and mintage numbers without investing large amounts of money. And who knows, in the future, if interest in modern coinage grows significantly, even common first-year issues could see gradual increases in collector demand. But as of today, in fine condition, the most realistic and honest market value remains around $1, which is essentially its original face value. And that's the clear and accurate picture of this coin in today's dollar market.
Next up, the most valuable Abraham Lincoln $1 coin bearing the date range 1861 to 1865 and a Denver mint mark in fine condition. We are really talking about a fascinating piece of American numismatic history that brings together the legacy of the 16th president with the realities of modern coin collecting. At first glance, that date range may seem as though it refers to a coin struck during Abraham Lincoln's presidency, or perhaps at a historic moment in Civil War America. But in truth, the story of this coin is quite different. The date range 1861 to 1865 on the coin is not the year it was minted. It does not come from the Civil War era. Instead, it is part of a modern presidential $1 series that was issued to honor presidents of the United States and to educate collectors and the public about those leaders and their times. What makes the coin identifiable with Lincoln's presidency is the inscription of his years in office, spanning from the outbreak of the Civil War to the end of the conflict and his tragic assassination. This range of years reminds us of his leadership during one of the most defining periods in United States history, when issues of union and freedom stood at the forefront of national debate and transformation. The coin itself was minted much later in the 21st century as part of a program to commemorate presidents and their service. Denver was one of the facilities chosen to strike these presidential dollars, and coins from that mint are marked with the letter D to distinguish them from those struck at other facilities. In this case, the Denver Mint produced tens of millions of these Abraham Lincoln dollar coins, so they are readily found in circulation and in collections today. Because so many were made, it does not qualify as a rare date coin in the traditional sense collectors might think of when they hear a year like 1861. What matters more for this coin's value is condition and interest from collectors. In coin grading, the term fine refers to a circulated condition where the major design elements on both the obverse and reverse are still visible but show clear signs of wear. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse is discernible, the lettering remains readable, and the details on the reverse, including the presidential seal, are present, though somewhat softened from use. This fine grade is commonly achieved by coins that have spent years in pockets and cash drawers before they were saved by collectors or found by chance. In today's market, the value of a presidential dollar coin like this one with a D mint mark and in fine condition typically sits very close to its face value. For coins of this type and era, the price most dealers and collectors expect is about $1, with a little variation depending on interest and specific sellers. That means in a fine grade, a typical Abraham Lincoln presidential dollar from Denver will bring around $1 if sold or traded, more or less equivalent to what it would buy as spending money. This is because the Denver minted coins were produced in such large numbers that even examples in better grades than fine remain common. Collectors seeking to complete a set of presidential dollars often prioritize coins in higher uncirculated grades, but those also command only modest premiums. It is not unusual to see uncirculated examples of these Lincoln dollars selling for a few dollars above face value in today's market. According to current price guides and sales records, a Denver minted Lincoln dollar in uncirculated condition may be worth a few dollars more, perhaps 2 or 3 times its face value, and coins with special grading or rare errors may attract slightly higher interest from specialists. But for a coin in fine condition, the value standard remains around that $1 mark. The reason the value stays near face is simple. Collectors place higher premiums on coins that are genuinely rare, have low surviving populations, or carry historical provenance directly linked to significant events. Modern presidential dollars do have appeal because they represent a series honoring American leaders and because they circulate, but they are not scarce enough to command large values unless they possess unusual errors or have been graded at very high uncirculated levels. In the case of the Abraham Lincoln dollar with the 1861 to 1865 inscription, most of the value in today's market comes from its connection to Lincoln's legacy and its usefulness in completing a presidential series set. When discussing the coin's design and what makes it visually appealing, the obverse features a realistic portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing forward, determined and solemn, capturing the dignity of the president who led the nation through its greatest crisis. Surrounding his likeness are the inscriptions that tell us about his service years, reminding collectors and viewers of his historical importance. On the reverse, the presidential seal is engraved with precision, signifying the official nature of the series and connecting the modern coin to centuries of American governance. Together, these artistic elements make the coin an attractive piece for educational purposes, classroom collections, and display sets. While the coin in fine condition may not be one of the high-value treasures in the numismatic market, it still carries intrinsic value as currency and collectible, worth having in any collection of presidential coinage. Its story serves as a reminder that value in coins is not always measured in high dollar amounts, but also in the cultural and historical connection that pieces like this provide. Collectors often find that learning about the context of a coin, understanding why it was issued and what it represents, adds a richness to their hobby that goes beyond price. In summary, the most valuable Abraham Lincoln $1 coin marked with a D mint mark and graded fine today is generally valued at around $1 in the current market. It honors the 16th president by displaying the years of his presidency from 1861 to 1865 and connects collectors to a broader narrative of American leadership. While its monetary value may hover close to its face value, its significance in a presidential collection and its role as a piece of numismatic history make it a meaningful and educational coin for collectors of all levels. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you in next time. Happy collecting!